In 1976, a debut album was released on Desert Moon Records by a soul singer who had been recording singles for 10 years up to that point. I am talking about Norma Jenkins, and from her 1976 singular album, Patience is a Virtue, the track It's All Over Now. So far, kind of a subdued yet stately, slow funk type progression groove.
You said that you were the only one.
Hear that little clipped kind of like meters like guitar.
Make my dreams come true. The day you chose to tell me you were leaving.
Well, she's singing in somewhat of a restrained yet assertive way. She's facing down her soon-to-be ex-lover.
I was so sad and blue.
Yeah, hear that restrained kind of like but vibrato nonetheless. Her expressive.
Then came the long day.
I like how the key centers are shifting. It's kind of like we're working up towards through several movements towards a chorus.
And the lonely sleepless nights.
Yeah, Alone and Sleepless Nights. Hear the way she just kind of flared up and
The many tears I
shared. Yeah, the way she stretches that word out and kind of lets it echo.
as I hid my face from sight. Prepare to live with.
Yeah, she's really putting a lot of expression into like choice words, like of like as what has led her to her conclusion that she's that it's all over now.
Every time I thought of you and the many changes.
Hear the flare up of those strings.
That I let you take me through, but it's all over now. I've made it somehow. I've learned how to smile without trying. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, that flare up chorus, like just so it just the way it just opens up like a fan over like what we've been listening to and just takes the song to a whole new level and the way that the chorus line basically lands on that G major seventh. It's just
All over now. It's all over. I've made it somehow. Now I can live without dying. Without dying.
I like the kind of steam, the kind of heat kind of reverberating from the vocal like sustains of those female background singers. They've all got that kind of like breathy, kind of sassy tone.
Yeah. Just think about that. Just think about that.
That's what I was describing.
Just think about that. Just think about that. Oh, I love you, baby.
Yeah, this rhythm section has just been so delectable this whole time. The tapping of that drum, the just choice bass notes.
The mountains you put me through. It's over now. It's over. I made it somehow. I made it somehow. Now I can smile without trying. Now I can smile without trying.
Once this chorus appears, there's just no containing it.
All over now. It's over. I made it somehow. I made it somehow. Now I can live without dying. Without dying. Without dying.
Like it Basically, it's all over now. I've made it somehow. Now I can live without dying. Yeah, it's a statement of like perseverance, of overcoming heartbreak, of finding the strength to like walk away.
Yeah, it's all over now. It's over. Made it somehow. Now I can live. I can live. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That G major seventh right there that they land, that is like the ultimate just like plateau chord of the song. It just where just everything comes into full view, and you're like free. The feeling of freedom that this song is like working up to and delivering. Yeah, it comes on that moment. That was Norma Jenkins with It's All Over Now, written by Kenny Seymour. Yeah, not to be confused with the song that the Rolling Stones did early in their career. Yeah, Norma Jenkins, who had been putting out singles on assorted labels since 1967, and before that had cut a single directly 10 years before this album with Norma Jenkins and the Dolls, yeah, as frontwoman of that. Yeah, and yeah, there were quite a few of those singers, like who in the mid '70s finally got around to recording an album after years as like a sporadic singles artist here and there. Let's see, on jazzrocksoul.com, the entry on Norma Jenkins talks about this track. Says. The initially humble It's All Over Now takes charge with a swelling chorus that dramatically changes keys as she belts, I learned how to smile without trying. Bravado fortifies as the sisters coo, just stop and think about that at the refrain. Yeah, two of the like main like your like cathartic like moments of like of arrival in that track. Let's hear another track from this album, Reachin Out In The Darkness. I love those kind of like descending strings amid the like blaring horns.
Reaching out in darkness, trying to touch the night.
Yeah, kind of a chromatic descent in like starting out like in A minor.
I've got to dry my tears by candlelight.
Actually, it's basically like a polychordal chromatic descent, I believe, in A minor. It because it basically holds on to A minor and then just like starts going down like half steps. The bass note.
In this lonely room of heavy memories of the love we shared, why did you leave?
And then it kind of goes into that like F to like E minor moment, like section, like indicating chords that kind of conjure up a certain darkness to them.
You've got me talking to my teardrops, begging, please don't fall.
And despair, like as evoked in the lines, you got me, talking in my teardrops.
For love who don't care at all.
See how she so just effortlessly kind of like flares up like that and kind of quivers and.
But it's just the same as talking to my wall.
It just sounds so natural coming from her, just that wideness of her voice. That it starts up so it's like the first couple of words like in a line will be really pretty much restrained and kind of mid-range, and then she'll just kind of like naturally just flare up and
Can't stand this pain. Lord, please let him go.
and hear her like hold those notes and like she'll just kind of like flare up like an octave or more.
Running from my mirror 'cause it shows your face.
voice just feels so natural. It feels so like as if it's second nature to her.
If I could find the door, I'd leave this place.
And then sometimes she'll go like as she comes back down, she'll go like kind of like under, and then show kind of like a lower range.
Searching broken shadows, searching for the light, wondering if I'll ever make it through the night.
Wow, holding notes quite well. Yeah, searching broken shadows, looking for the light, wondering if I'll ever make it through the night. Yeah, some interesting metaphors that conjure up the romantic despair, the emotional. Those really swelling strings, just kind of giving kind of more dramatic intensity to the proceedings. Let's see that same entry on jazzrocksoul.com about this song. It says the mid-tempo B-flat tonal center of Reaching Out in the Darkness allows the singer to explore her range with sonorous command. From the words call to light, Jenkins elongates each verse ending vowel with voluminous intensity. In the background, light licks and subtle strings are faintly heard under a dominant chromatic bass line. Similar points that I've made. So they're saying here the words call and light are kind of emphasized with elongated vowels to like. I guess the two operative words of the song, of the chorus, like making a call, reaching out, trying to find light. Yeah.
Mississippi River was a drop of rain, but the rain and tears don't fall the same.
Mississippi River was a drop of rain, but the rain and tears don't fall. But the rain and tears don't fall the same.
Reaching out in darkness, trying to touch the light.
Yeah, reaching out in darkness, trying to touch the light. Even if I'm kind of flubbing a few of the lines as I try and recite them back, I have to say some of these are interesting metaphors that are passing by, like that Mississippi River reference. Yeah.
Wondering if I'll ever make it through the night.
The way she says through the night and just stretches that out over that descending bass line and is, well, a lot of like emotional fire, you could say. In terms of romantic despair songs, emotional despair songs from this period, with kind of like an almost that are trying to kind of find some way to persevere through kind of like ominous surroundings. This song packs a lot of fire. Yeah, the way she just holds those notes, the choice interjections of backup, the flaring strings, the like very kind of subtle, restrained rhythm and licks that are thrown in. Yeah. Norma Jenkins, Reaching Out in the Darkness, from her Singular album, the 1976 release Patience is a Virtue on Desert Moon Records. Yeah, she had recorded a whole number of singles over the preceding decade. On Carnival, ABC, Care, Alithia, Jean, yeah, those at least five singles between 1967 and 1973. Then landed on Patience is a Virtue in 1975 for a single leading up to this album that would ultimately appear. Yeah, Give Me Some of Your Love. And then the 1976 single Love Jones, which also appeared, a rather elongated blues belter track that appears on this album, another noteworthy track. And unfortunately, was not really heard after this at all. Although, let's see, it says not much was heard from Jenkins after her one LP, though she did briefly record with the P-Funk All-Stars on their 1983 release, Urban Dance Floor Gorillas, on which she is credited as Norman Jean Jenkins. Yeah. Yeah, the mid 1970s, so much great music, almost more than the whole entire, well, a lot more, I guess, than the whole world could accommodate at the time. And so it's just up to us archivists, aficionados, serious listeners, intellectually curious types to mine further and further and further until all the great music from that, rich, wonderful era receives its due. Yeah. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the Norma Jenkins album and other, mid 70s one offs in the realm of soul, see the directory of albums by American soul artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard. The instrumentation, the interplay, the rhythmic structure, the arrangements, the flare-ups of the horns, and strings, and the emotional intensity it conjured up, the lyrics, the meaning, the message of each song, and the harmonies, and most importantly, the vocal delivery of Norma Jenkins and the emotions that conjured and evoked and such. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled Tremaximalist, signing off.